So, what a world we are now living in, my friend. It was on this week's episode of SmackDown. Sakoa aired a video towards the end of the show, which is a very interesting time to air it, and he told us, I am now the real tribal chief, and Roman Reigns, you can kiss my tuchus. Now, this actually is a bigger deal than I gave it credit for. I guess it just hit me in the way that WWE intended it to, because, of course, over the last, 3-4 months, whatever it's been, Sakoa's been like, oh, hey, Paul Heyman, how you doing? Here's my new friend, here's my other new friend, here's my other new friend, and yes, they are all absolute psychopaths. But Roman, we're talking and we're buddies and we're pals, and I love them so much until obviously we got to last week where he asked for everybody to acknowledge him. Paul Heyman did not acknowledge him. He got killed off, which is absolutely a theme in WWE in 2024. I mean, Paul Ricochet, where did he go? Whereas you go 1 week on and he's just decided it now. He's the tribal chief. He's the head of the table. He's going to wear the luafa, whatever it's called, the ceremonial necklace. And that's it. If even said this, Roman, if you want to come and get it for yourself, then maybe you should come back to the show. But I don't think we're ever going to see you again. Now, lots of people think he may come back at Money in the Bank. I think it's going to be SummerSlam because they want to make Hot WrestleMania exactly those words that have come out of my mouth. But once again, this is a big shift in what we are doing because we now officially have, in terms of the story of what we're watching, I mean, we knew this deep down in our tum-tums anyway, the brand new Bloodline, which is, of course, Sakoa, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu. And they may be adding in more. If you go and read the rumors, there's a bunch of other people that WWE would like to bring in, and maybe they do go on the Roman Reigns side. Now, Roman Reigns will obviously go out there and get Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso, but it needs the fourth. It could be a Sami Zayn, it could be a Kevin Owens, it could be a Cody Rhodes, it could be a Randy Orton, it could be any of these people, but maybe you want to segregate all of those people away from each other, and you want to give them another Tongan, or you want to give them another Samoan, or whatever it may be. I mean, Hikuleo from New Japan has been heavily touted. That'd be quite cool as well. Like, if it was 4-on-3, and then Roman kind of does the Solo, what Solo did to everyone else, where he's all like, ha ha ha, look what I've got, and out comes this giant man, it would actually work quite well. But given this was just a 2-minute video at the end of SmackDown, I actually thought it brought some serious weight with it. And again, if you do want to buy into the idea that Roman may come back at Money in the Bank, you can, because that's what Sakoa said. Cody, you're going to acknowledge me, I'm going to end your life. And because I'm convinced that the pay-per-view premium live event should end with Cody being pinned by Solo, so they can have that match at SummerSlam, if you do want to add the intensity to it now, leading into that pay-per-view, you absolutely could. But I just think it makes more sense for the Bloodline to be on top from now all the way through to August, and that's when Roman Reigns comes back. And when he comes back, I don't know. Is it during the match? Is it after the match? Is it on Raw? Is it on SmackDown? That's something for you to come up with. And drop me in the comments and let me know what you think. But for a video that... Look, some people on the internet, they're like, wait a minute, we were promised a Bloodline segment. That's how late in the show it was. People thought we weren't going to get it, especially because we had just seen a tag team title change too, but it was really well done. And given that it is 120 seconds, if you do have time today, you should check it out. And I love the way that we're kind of shooting it and producing it. I don't really know what you would describe Roman's version as, but this one has like a mafia feel to it. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit, not creepy, but there's an edge to it. Not Adam Copeland. He went to AEW, but I'm a big fan of it. I think Sakoa is doing great in the role, and we haven't even seen Jacob Fatu in a match yet, and when we do, that is going to elevate this even more. And I don't know what the plan is for Money in the Bank, even though of course it is later. Check out my predictions that are on the channel, but I would guess you do the Gorillas of Destiny and Solo with Jacob Fatu on the outside, because not only can he be a terrifying enforcer type individual, but it means you hold off his debut for a while, which can then be used to sell a SmackDown or another pay-per-view, maybe at SummerSlam. Maybe that's when you do something there. But really, really good stuff. The angle that we kind of did leading into that a few segments before with Cody, Randy, and Kevin essentially focused on Kevin Owens. Now, we should have done this anyway because we were in Canada, and Kevin Owens is always massively over in Canada. But as it also was revealed to us by Kevin, his mother's in hospital, his dad gave him a call. So for the last few days, he's been by her bedside, as you would imagine. He could have taken the day off. And I think everything he said here was true because his mum has always been such a supporter of his career. She said, no, you've got to go, otherwise I will be pissed off. And also, one of my wishes is that you go and destroy the Bloodline. Now, when you do blur reality and fiction together, it always makes a more powerful thing. But as I always say, because I'm annoying, let's make sure we go behind the curtain too. Remember, Kevin Owens is Kevin Steen, I believe is his real name. I've never really looked into it. He's a real human being. And that's a incredibly difficult thing to try and process in your brain, even if you are a WW wrestler. You see some stupid people going, oh yeah, but he's rich and famous. He still has emotions, you absolute imbeciles. So I thought that was, again, it's just a nice reminder to always just maybe take our foot off the gas a little bit when it does come to the fictional side of wrestling, because it doesn't matter. But it did make this a very powerful promo, and Cody was there and Randy Orton was there too. And the other thing that I really liked that I said on Ups and Downs, again, that'll be on the screen as well, the card for you to click through if you want to get all my opinions on SmackDown, is that WWE now has 3 baby faces that people absolutely love. And there was a time 5 years ago when that wasn't the case. You had the, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial case with Roman Reigns. John Cena was always a polarizing figure, and that was fun. It allowed John Cena to stand out, but it's like everything. It becomes the law of diminishing returns. And I think either one of Kevin Owens or Randy is going to turn on Cody at some point. But as of today, in July 2024, I think this is a massive reason WWE is doing so well. Because when you do have a trifecta of baby faces that are getting the right reactions, they just feel like super duper megastars. And each of these sort of guys kind of fit into a different place as well. Because Randy Orton is your long-standing veteran who everyone just respects. Cody Rhodes is the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. And Kevin Owens is that guy that is not under the radar because he's had such a successful career, but he deserves more. He's the underrated champion of the people. So I'm very, very excited for this match. I think it's going to be excellent. And it was the same for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano taking on Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So good. All the callbacks to NXT and when they won the tag titles there. And I love stuff like that because it taps, it straddles that line perfectly. If you never watched NXT, you can listen to the commentators and they'll sort of give you a little bit of information, or you can totally ignore it. You're still going to like the fact the good guy babyface team are about to win the championships. And if you are a nerd like me, it gives you something extra too. I thought it's the simple stuff that worked here. DIY, just such a good tag team. They work so well together. But they have perfect foils in Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, who were just dickheads. And also, there is stuff under the surface here, because about 3 times, maybe 2 times, 2 or 3 times, and this has been going on for ages too, Austin Theory was the guy that protected their titles. Even at the end, Grayson Waller was going to tap out, and it was Austin that stopped him, and that's what got him into the crossface by Tommaso Ciampa as well. So they both tapped out. Now, of course, they'll break up, and they'll probably have a match at SummerSlam. Now, I hope WWE treats this with kid gloves, because they are great, right? And I actually think together they got even greater. But if we are finally going to go with the Austin Theory babyface turn, make him the goofy dude he was in NXT, because I always felt that was real. Don't make him a smiling, stupid babyface or anything like that. Let the real Austin Theory shine through. And with Grayson Waller, just keep doing what you're doing. He did a video the other day where he was in Toys R Us or Walmart, whatever. It was like a promotional video for Money in the Bank. And he was going through action figures going, this guy sucks. Go Kurt Angle. One day he'll be as good a wrestler as me. And it was just the timing of it all. He tried to find his figure, and you thought the comeuppance was going to be, they don't even stock your figure. He just went, Grayson Waller figures, sold out. He walked off. So just keep doing the thing. And let's make sure we have some good feuds and good opponents for DIY as well. I don't think it would be the Street Profits and were pretty deadly. They sort of had not a nothing match. It was a fun match, but I do not know what the direction is there. But they better do Pretty Deadly the musical. They've teased that now. I'm desperate for it. Goofy wrestling for life. But even now, I'm trying to think. I've probably forgotten someone, which is fair. You'll be getting mad at me in the comments. But DIY needed a proper bad guy team to face and roll right into SummerSlam. And it should be some people that can really flipping work. I suppose if the Street Profits heel turn had been a success, we could have done that, but it didn't. That was ages ago now. But I can't even think of the tag team scene, but that's what we should do, because you could even go one of 2 ways with this. Just let them hold it for ages, and they will, as Sheamus would tell you, give you banger after banger after banger. Or you could do what we did in NXT and continue on this nostalgia run with Tommaso Ciampa turning on Johnny Gargano. Don't do it the other way around. Much like Candice LeRae is not really clicking as a heel, bless her. She's trying so hard, but she's too nice. She's got too nice a quality to her. And I think it's the same with Johnny Gargano, whereas Tommaso was shown us in the past, he can be the biggest prick in the world. Like, man, I absolutely hate you. But that absolutely ruled. And otherwise, it was a very directionless episode of SmackDown because we do have Money in the Bank. Tag match between Pretty Deadly and Street Profits was good, but yeah, Street Profits just won, so I don't know what we do after that. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair got their revenge over Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. That was fun, but again, what do you do now? They did say they were going to go after the championships. The opening was like Raw from 2018, where each of the men, Money in the Bank participants, arrived. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And then Drew came and just sort of flamed them all. When we did get a big brawl, I suppose tying into the past too, the people that were left standing tall were LA Knight and Jey Uso, which usually would have meant they're not going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And my favorites right now are Chad Gable or Drew. I think one of them will win. But if Chad is going for that briefcase and Uncle Howard doesn't snipe him in the head, what we're even doing? Why has he forgotten his motivations? And I thought the way, even though, again, it was sort of formulaic too, I thought the way we reminded you of the women's Money in the Bank was far more fun. We did Piper Niven versus Bayley. I thought I'd gone back in time 3 weeks. It's like, what? But the cool thing was everybody else that was out there was in the women's Money in the Bank. They had a big brawl, and Tiffany Stratton did a moonsault off the top, and after Bayley had won, Nia Jax beat her up. So we're planting the seeds, which is cool, because that is going to be our SummerSlam match. And I think Nia Jax should win. And I think Tiffany Stratton should win the Money in the Bank with help from Nia Jax, because that's a cool dynamic coming out of Hot WrestleMania. But yeah, the way they all kind of got into it, again, you've seen it time and time again, but I just thought it flowed better. And there wasn't really much else to talk about from SmackDown. Again, you know, you don't want to go in too big with some of the stuff we have got going on. You can't do anything with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. We've already done that on Raw. And it's fine, and it was an enjoyable watch. But again, as I said on Ups and Downs, it's one of those shows where predominantly you will give things up, because you sit there and go, yeah, it's all fine. It's all ticking the boxes. But last week's was so good. When you kind of tie in the two, you can't actually look at the numbers if we were referring to Ups and Downs, go, oh, they're equatable as an episode. They're not. Last week's was way better. But this one, of course, was about establishing that Solo Sikoa is now a super asshole. DIY, the brand new tag team champions. And, of course, we have 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches later. And Drew did talk about CM Punk a lot. I cannot work it out. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, there's 3 choices as far as I'm concerned. One is we do nothing, which actually would count as a surprise because people expect CM Punk. 2, Drew's about to win, and much like Uncle Howdy does with Chad Gable, CM Punk comes and beats him up. Or Drew does get the briefcase, goes to cash in during Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, which apparently is the main event, which is very interesting coming after the ladders match, and CM Punk screws him over there. Maybe Drew gets the World Championship and CM Punk just beats him up and they'll fight for the title at SummerSlam. And also Finn Balor could get involved and he could screw over Damian Priest before that. And Seth Rollins gets dicked as well, which means he can go back to the CM Punk Drew McIntyre stuff, which is where you want him to be. So I think the pay-per-view itself is going to be absolutely fantastic. It shouldn't be much over 3 hours, which I also think will be a plus. But as for this SmackDown, you can take it, you can leave it. Given that the Bloodline thing is 2 minutes, I'll go find that on the internet. And the main event must be 15 to 20. So yeah, if you can find some time to watch that, I would watch it too. The rest you can probably ignore. But it's fine, because by Sunday and by Monday, we'll be pumped about Money in the Bank. But if you did watch SmackDown and you'd like to give me your thoughts, drop me a comment below, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Why not? Who doesn't like to be notified? And click the predictions video on the screen right now as I tell you what I think is going to happen at Money in the Bank, although I warn you now, I'll be wrong. It's also grillermind.com/Simon. You just go to Simon to get 10% off and sometimes more. I think right now they're doing a mega sale, so make sure you take advantage of that. It's worldwide shipping. Essentially, if you're into fitness and you like your supplements, these are the ones that I use, so I'm happy to be on board with them. Patreon.com/Simon316. Simon Miller316 on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and X, and Threads. Simon J. Miller on TikTok for dumb videos. Simon Miller on Cameo for videos like that as well. Just a lot of videos from me. I know. Who needs more? Buy a t-shirt instead. Samson Athletics, Pro Wrestling Tees. Moreover, my friends, enjoy Money in the Bank. It's in a few hours. I'm now going to go to sleep because, again, my weekend will be packed with sports entertainment, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. See you soon.